Can we hear it start up?
Sure can.
So it's a one-piece tilt front end now.
It's a 66 Fairlane.
This is my office right here.
So he's been very careful to try to maintain the native species and get rid of the invasives, and then sprayed too last fall. He was telling me,
Thank you.
Steve Abshire and I,
Well, but
Matt, who's the assistant, Brad was telling us, he said, if we go out, he said, you've got a small window to do this in, but he said it has a huge impact if we can do it there. Knowing when to spray for that honeysuckle, he said all the foliage has to be off of everything except honeysuckle. He said honeysuckle will be the last thing that'll drop its foliage. He said if we can wait till everything's dropped its foliage so we don't damage any of that, he said, and then go spray that honeysuckle. He said, we'll kill it all. So this spring, I was headed out to Gadsden, and I was trimming honeysuckle on the west
This was the little one.
You want to go on the little one? You want to sit on it? It's Katie's. Look, oh, okay. If you don't want to, here, you want to come look at this? I'm not going to do anything. Come look at the wheel. Yeah, this is why he didn't come over. Alright, you don't have to. Look at the red one. This is
Katie's. Those two are mine.
He's so excited. He pulled up. Alright, we'll make it around. Thank you.
See where that happened. You want a picture of the good stuff? Well, I'll get out of the way.
Y'all can be in it if you want to.
Well, they look better than I do.
Well, y'all have to look better than I do.
Oh, they have a straight pipe on those?
They were in where that
He did on
grains and grill is.
Boy, it wasn't chrome curved. Dad didn't scream for that, did he?
The guy I worked for when I was a kid.
Thank you.
Had a station on the front.
Yeah, think about it. Some investments. Yeah. She come to my house about 10 o'clock. But anyway,
I wasn't there.
Charlie, used to drive by and go out with. Well, the neighbor lady across from us there in Eagle lost her husband. Yeah, I think we took him out on double days. He wasn't even up to
This is a 1962 Case 930 standard. They call it a low seat. They only made this particular design, the low seat design, in 60, 61, and 62. I don't think they made one in 63. It was a 4-plow or 5-plow tractor, and this one's really rare because it's got the belt pulley on the side of it.
Oh, yeah. You start it up?
Yeah, I'll start it.
That's quiet, actually.
This one's got power steering. It's got PPO. It's got its 6-speed transmission, and it's got the super heavy-duty rear end in it. That's the way these were. These 6-speed were.
Would start it up real easy.
Yeah.
Now this one's yours too?
Yes. This is a 1965 John Deere 3020 high crop. They call it a utility, high utility. They only made, I think, 1,752 utilities. This is a diesel. Surprised to find out they made more diesels than gases because these are prone not to start in the wintertime. But it's also got a power shift transmission, kind of a semi-automatic transmission, and those are rare in these.
Huh.
And
That's surprisingly smooth for a diesel too. Two very nice tractors.
these are in working clothes more or less. There's some nice ones here, but I like mine, but it's a work in progress, and I didn't get to work on it this winter.
But this would be known as an everyday driver in the car world, so.
This would be your barn fresh.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I appreciate the interview today, Dan.
Well, I appreciate you giving me a chance to brag about my equipment.
So, anyway, I hope you watch the rest of the video, and we'll see everybody next time. Okay, well, tell me all about it.
This is a 1948 Ford 8N. It's about 2,400 or 24 horsepower, and weighs about 2,500 pounds. So it's a small utility tractor, what it was designed for.
Mm-hmm.
And it has a 3-point hitch system on there, so you can put a blade, you can put a bush hog on there, a boom, whatever you want to put on. This one was restored in 2010.
This has been restored a few years then.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, that's all right. And then Dan said you had pretty much every option that you could have got with it.
Yeah, this one has the Sherman high and low on it on the other side. Right here. This is the Sherman high and low, and that'll kick up your speed mainly for a road gear.
Mm-hmm.
And
Man, this thing is immaculate.
thank you.
I mean, really. And I think I got this a while ago, but let me get that sign back in there. hit run?
Yeah.
Purrs like a kitten, don't it?
Yep, fired right up. Still on the original 6-volt piston. No alternator.
Really?
Has a generator.
I take it that that's like a little toolbox.
Yeah. Most of them, original ones are stored inside here. But I put mine back there because that's where Dan always put his. It tells us closer to get to the tools. And most of your tools you need when you did your implement. You know, you tighten up nuts and bolts and stuff. Instead of keep running back and forth, you always put them right there. So in his memory, that's where I put it.
Very good. Well, thanks for starting it up for me. This thing purrs like a kitten.
Thank you.
I take it that it came with all, I mean, this like toe guard on front. And
Yeah. Yep. Front bumper, what they call them, and this original style 19-inch wheels for the front, the single rib, was the standard for the 48. Now I've got a 50. They went down to the 16-inch, which is standard now. Then the 19-inch is optional for the 1950.
Well, I really appreciate you showing me this today, and appreciate you being on the show. And
Well, thank you.
we'll see everybody next time.
This is just a replica of what was my
Nothing wrong with
grandpa's.
that. All right, let's hear about them.
So, all right. Well, this is a 1973 New Holland S12. My dad bought that brand new in 1973 from Mike Lewis. It was the Lewis Brothers Lawn Equipment down in Fishers. Mike and Mark and Johnny Lewis were good friends of the family. My dad coached Johnny Lewis in hockey, so
Well, that was way back in the day before Fishers grew up.
yeah, there was absolutely nothing in Fishers,
Yeah.
but the original Sam's restaurant, Lewis Brothers, and the old Vermeer tool equipment sales. So there was nothing there at the time. But yeah, that was. This is one of the last of New Holland before Aaron's bought them out.
Okay.
And actually, I'm still close with Mike Lewis. Mike's in his 70s now, but Mike and I still talk, and he used to carry me around on his shoulders when I was a little kid. But
Yeah.
that's a 12 horsepower tractor. It's got a Kohler K241 in it. It's all original, except for I finally did just put front tires on it. Dad had a plug in the original front tire, one of the tires, and it just stopped holding air.
Right.
So had to replace them, and I put a different style of tire on it. But the rear's original, the seat's not original, and the fuel pump is not original. Everything
Okay.
else in that tractor is completely
That's-
original.
Let me get a close up of this sign right here.
Got that tall and stuff, but you know, old stuff. Judy got it.
I still have the original mowing deck for it. It needs a couple bearings in it. I've got the front blade for it also. It's actually, the blade was an Aaron's blade.
Maybe.
I mean, other than that, I mean, it's completely.
Yeah.
The fuel cap is not right. Dad lost the original fuel cap, and I tried buying a replacement, and that's why that's duct taped.
Well, that's all right. It works.
Well, sort of. The only damage was done to that fender. Dad thought it was a real good idea to hook a little chain with a railroad tie to level out gravel in the driveway. He did good till he turned.
Yeah.
And I was actually riding on his lap on the tractor when it happened, and the thing flipped up, hit it, and he thought it had hit me, and he started cussing pretty bad. 'Cause
I probably would have too.
It was pretty brand new when he did that. But It, I mean, it still runs. The carburetor could use a going through at this point, but it runs good and starts up just fine. So it's pretty rare little tractor. It's a heavy belt tractor. It weighs over 700 pounds, 740.
Really?
743, I think. But yeah, that's pretty special to me. That tractor's never sat out overnight in a day in its life. So, Dad passed away in 2008.
I'm sorry to hear that.
No, thank you. Dad passed away in 2008, and my stepsister and her husband had it for a few years, and I kept saying that, this was bought before my mom died, and your mom came along. I really would like to have that, and they finally came off of it and gave it to me. So
good.
And honestly, I hate to sound selfish, but it should have been mine.
Yeah.
It was my dad's, and I was an only child of my dad's. So they're all over the place.
I'm glad you got it. Glad you got it.
Appreciate it. And that little Cub there is it's a 68 Cub 105. That thing is pretty much all original. I did just put a new head gasket on it. It had blown the head gasket. I bought that off of a guy named Scott Urschel. Scott lives up in New Haven by Fort Wayne, and he is known all over, at least regionally, as the Cub Cadet guy. That guy knows more about Cub Cadets than anybody I would ever know. And that was, my grandpa had a 105, and we don't know where it's at, so this is as close as I can get. I'd like to, I'm gonna eventually clean up the wheels and repaint them, but I probably won't ever paint it. Scott actually can take this seat's original.
Right.
But he has a way I can take this thing off, and he told me anytime I want to bring it up to him or ship it up to him, he will completely redo this to the original spec.
Cool.
It'll look just like this, except for it'll be nice and brand new. And I think that other than going through the carburetor on this thing, it would this will sit kind of as it is. It's not gonna. I don't think I'm gonna redo it completely. But it starts and does real good. It's got the starter generator on it. Other typical, little things for garden tractors, a little carburetor work. It doesn't hurt. So.
Right. Okay. Can I hear them both run real quick?
Well, sure.
Sounds like it gets the mowing done.
It could. I've got the deck, but I'll never mow with it. Yeah.
I don't blame you.
As long as it's warmed up. If it's not cold out, it'll sit there and just idle all day long. It does good.
Well, let's hear the New Holland. That one sounded nice and quiet.
Yeah. Fire this up behind you, Tom.
Never got a cow killed on the track.
Have to hold it in park start to engage.
Right.
Sounds real good. Well, I appreciate you telling me about them, and
Thank you for letting me tell you about it.
that's all right. I appreciate you being on the show, and we'll see everybody next time.
Thank you very much.
Okay, go ahead and tell me about it.
Okay, well, it's a Farmall 300. 1955 is the year it was built. And it was actually purchased here locally by a person named Charles Hyatt. And then a few years later, Wayne Antrim around Yorktown bought it. And he used it for a few years, and then it needed some major mechanical work. So it got parked along the back of a barn.
Oh, yeah.
In the weeds. And somebody I know told me about it being there, so I stopped and looked at it one day and said, well, it's definitely a project tractor. So I ended up buying it off of Wayne, pulled it to my house because it wouldn't run, and I rebuilt the engine on it, the front part of the transmission, what they call the torque amplifier. Of course, it's got new tires, you know, generator, alternator, everything's been redone on it. And,
I'm glad you did. It looks like you've done a real nice job restoring it.
and believe it or not, it was restored back in either 79 or either 97 or 98. So about 25 years ago it was restored. But I keep it, you know, in the inside all the time. But
I like your umbrella up there too. That makes it a lot cooler on a day like this.
When I was a kid, we farmed all the time and we used umbrellas. You know, paid off for cancer nowadays. But that was when I was especially cultivating, where you was going real slow to cultivate corn or beans. It was an all-day job. It was a very slow process. Kind of got boring. But,
well, I remember when I was about this high, I'd hop on my uncle's John Deere and we'd go out and, you know, do the fields and planting and all that, and it got hot.
Oh yeah.
He had an umbrella on his tractor too.
It made a difference. Keep you out of the sun, a little breeze. It wasn't bad. Of course, we didn't know any different back then. Nobody had air conditioning.
Yeah, that's true. Can I hear it run?
Yeah.
I like that little toolbox underneath there.
Yeah, that came on the tractor.
Came on the tractor as an accessory, huh? Now that's quiet. That's really quiet.
It's got the Farmall sound.
Yeah.
You listen to about any Farmall, and the engine sounds about the same.
Well, thank you for telling me about it.
Okay.
And we'll see everybody next time.
Okay.
So this is a 1944 McCormick Deering 04 Orchard. They made about 2,172 of these in 13 years. And this model was used in orchards and nut groves. And the reason for the fairing and all the sheet metal is to protect the limbs and the fruit from the tractor and its tires. We don't want to damage the fruit or the trees as these tractors are going through the orchard.
I understand.
I found this tractor with the help of Facebook. It was located in western Illinois. I contacted the owner, and in very short order I was able to go see it and confirm the purchase of this unit. It did not look anything like this when I started. However, the sheet metal did come with the tractor only because some 40 plus years ago somebody had taken the metal off and hung it in a shed because they did not need the sheet metal. They just needed a tractor. So this is a war baby. It was produced during World War II, and I think that that's why the metal was taken off, is because the buyer wanted a tractor, not needing an orchard.
Right.
So that is why the metal is in such good condition as it sits today.
Well, it sure is.
It was a 3-year project. I rebuilt the engine, did all the axles, the seals, everything inside, and I had somebody, a professional, pull the paint trigger for me on this unit.
Wow. Well, it's beautiful. I mean, it's in really nice mint condition now. So
it was a lot of work, a lot of fun, and so now my task with this unit is to share it and educate it to other people. A lot of people had never seen a tractor like this before, and I'm frequently asked, is this a custom build? And it is not. This is straight up factory from International Harvester.
this is the first one I've seen.
It's not real common. There's very few left that still have all the metal
We
on.
get a front shot. Get a good view of this sign here. I like your display of fruit and nuts and everything right there. So
Well, this tractor could be purchased as an orchard tractor, or it could be purchased for a nut grove. So the fruit baskets we have here representing orchard fruit, and the smaller basket representing nuts, tree nuts. So those happen to be wooden nuts, so they're the closest thing I have
that's there you go.
to tree nuts.
Yeah, yeah.
But otherwise, they are an orchard tractor and a grove tractor are identical, except for one decal on each side.
Well, can we hear it run?
Sure can. Let's go start her up.
I'll get behind you here and watch what you do.
Now open the fuel valve here. Fuel's open, ignition is on, we're ready for the light off. This does have a hand clutch.
Really? I'm gonna listen to it.